All right, welcome back. This is going to be Mission 10, the Color Sensor Review Mission. The reason why I didn't have everybody basically copy their Mission 5.py file and modify it for Mission 10 is simply if anybody lost their Mission 5.py file. We're probably going to need to restart it from scratch, but at the same time, hopefully it's not too bad of a thing to redo from scratch here, going from the ground up. So this is what our Mission 5 Pi looked like. If you remember, what we did was we came down over here into the main. We executed all this stuff. Handler went ahead and called the color detection handlers, which came back up here. We went ahead and declared some global variables of red, green, and blue. We went ahead and put those values as the JSON values for red, green, and blue right there. If you remember how the JSON values work, it's basically within color detected data, which is your passed in JSON value here, you're going to have color detection, and within color detection you have the red or the green or the blue value. So it's going to go ahead and pass those in for those three values right here and print these out. In fact, you can shorten this and say red, green, and blue if you want. So, and it'll basically just use the values as above right here. So again, like I said, 20 different programmers will have 20 different sets of code that do the exact same thing. Not necessarily that one is better than the other, it's just that they can be different. But that's going through mission 5 here, and like I said, it's going to be don't need that. It's going to be pretty similar here, where you've got your global variables, where you are declaring what the value of those variables are with the JSON value, and then printing them out right here. So that first step is going to be all the same from mission 5. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and in this finally is where I put everything else. You can, like I said, you can do it a little bit differently if you want. But I said if red is greater than 150, because my red value was reading a little bit low there. I would highly recommend also, if you want to say and blue is less than 150 and green is less than 150. It's always good practice to make sure that just because one value is high doesn't mean that it's the correct answer. You have to have basically a set of values where it will more or less define what you're doing. But for this purpose here, for this code, I'm just going to say if red is greater than 150. It'll work fine for this time around, but we'll modify it in future missions probably. So if red is greater than 150, it's going to go ahead and set the all LED values, all lights value, to 255, 0, and 0. And if you remember, that's red, green, and blue. But I want it to be a very specific value, so I am going to go ahead and hard code those numbers in there myself. So 255, 0, and 0 will make all LEDs red. And then coming down here, if it's not greater than 150, it'll run this else. So here I went ahead and initialized a counter and a flag. So what the flag is going to do is similar to last time. It'll go ahead and cycle the lights each time the counter runs, and this counter is going to run for 5 times. So it's going to start at 0 and go all the way up to 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll quit. So like mission 9 here, it will go ahead alternate the colors. and the use of the flags. And then once everything has been done at least once, it will go ahead and say +1 to the counter. And remember your spacing right here. So this is outside of the else statement. This counter will count up every time either this is executed or this is executed, because it's not within this entire statement here. Spacing, again, is very important in Python. So it will go ahead and count that 5 times and then close the program, exit the program there, and that should be it for this time around. Again, if you have any questions, just go ahead. Oh, by the way, if I wanted to only print it out one time in the terminal, 0.5 would work. I have this printing, right? Yeah. But I've got it set to 1 at the moment, and that's an old comment. That should say 1 second. And that'll print it out 3 times on my Raspberry Pi. So anyway, again, that's the end of Mission 10. Hopefully that all made sense. If not, if you need clarification, as usual, comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can. Otherwise, I will see you for Mission 11.